Nana K with NanaKDesigns.com and the Altered Book Nook at Etsy.com. We are still in the process of putting the wedding album together using an regular lined journal that you buy in any office supply store. We are on part 3. The remainder of this last video, which is part 3, will consist of putting the lace on it, the closure, and the decorations on the front, and just any finishing touches we need to do. So just stick with me. You'll start, the next step is to get this lace on. And thanks again for watching. So I need to measure my front here, then go over to my fabric table and cut. I need to cut this piece, not quite 7.5, not quite 8. A little more than 7, no, 7.5 is good. So we're going to cut it 7.5 wide, and we're going to cut it 10.5 long. Okay, I'll be back, and we'll cut me 2 strips for the front and the back. A little bit's going to hang over, but we'll cut all that off as we need to. I like the lace on there. I like the lace overlay a lot. I don't want it to hang off the edge, so we're going to bring, well, you could bring it over just a little. Maybe. Okay, where's my wide lace that we had earlier? The lace that was going to go down our binding. That's it, so we're not going to worry about that. Oh, gosh, guys, I have totally messed up. Yeah, does anybody know what I've done wrong? Anybody figured it out? Yeah, I didn't put the fan around. And I am not about to take that satin off to do it, since we're going to decorate most of it. But that's okay. Me. I might have slid it. I'm not going to. Okay, we got to get this on. This has got to get on. Guys, normally you would want this underneath. You would have wanted it underneath the satin, but that's okay. We're going to make it do this way. It's so close in the same color scheme and all that we're good. It can go underneath. It's not going to hurt it a bit. Of course, I could at this point do it this way, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to do my closure a little differently. I'm going to actually glue it on the inside here, where we're going to actually put the piece over the top. Yeah. All right. So please forgive me. A little bit of a change. Hey, but it's going to work out just as well, because by the time we put the other piece on top here, it's going to make this real secure. A little disappointed in myself that I forgot such an intricate part of the book, but you know what? This will work just as well, really, because you're actually going to put a piece over this, so you're still going to have a real strong bond right there. Pressing the glue down really tight. Getting all the air out from under it and really trying to wield it to that, why did you see? I got to take my tissue here and clean up right there, because I don't want to close the book in it, and it glues shut right there. So we're going to wipe it a little bit till we get this off. Don't want it to touch this side at all. So that's good. It's not touching it. All right. So we got that piece on. We're going to bring it out a little bit. Let me see. That's 12 inches. And another 8. 20 inches, I think, is what I'm going to cut it at, which is going to be right about here. I hope I've got plenty. If not, I can always go buy more tomorrow. But that should give me enough of my tie closure on that side. Okay. I'll rub this a few minutes. Get that tacky glue kind of loose and balling up and pull it off. Yeah. Pulling it off. Like I say, don't worry about anything that's doing to this back sheet. We're going to cover it up. And that's a wet wipe that I'm just kind of wiping some of that glue off. And I'm just going to keep rubbing until I kind of roll it all up in V and pull it off of here. All right. Again, I'm using my fingernail. I do a lot with my fingernails. I say that enough, I guess. Okay. All right, that didn't turn out as bad as my first initial thought was all over my book's ruined, but it's not. We can do that. All right, I'm going to take another piece 20 inches long. So what I'll do this time is just do the easy way and measure it like this. Go ahead and cut it. And you're not seeing it, but I'm just measuring and cutting it. Okay. I wish my desk was wider, but it's not. And sometimes I have to turn things the way that works for me. And see, now that's messed up that, but we'll fix that too. A little bit of glue got on this page and I messed it up, but I'm going to put another one of those tape strips down it. All right. Now we got to try to get it kind of in the same spot. So we need to kind of eyeball this. We need it right about there. All right, right about here. I'm not going to do it quite as wide a glue spot because we don't need it. And just carry it all the way across. Right there. Okay, take the strip, lay it down. Before we press it one more time, let's just make sure it's out in the same spot. Yep. Okay, about the same spot, and now we're going to press down. Spread the glue. Spread the glue and flatten it. Get the air out from under it. Pull it out. This is the messy part. That's the one thing about Fabri-Tac. It's kind of a messy glue. That's okay. It is part of the process that is just necessary. All right, let's put the tacky out of the way. Again, let's put a piece in here just in case. This is the front of the book and that's the back. Make sure we're not getting glue all over this because I may not even put another piece of lace on this. I think I will. I'll decide. Okay, let's go. Now, all right, now we got this down. We got that down. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and try to put the lace on. I'm going to cut the video off while I do all that. I got to decide how to glue it, and I haven't made up my mind yet. I do not want it to bleed through, so I've got to be real thoughtful on this. So just give me a few minutes, and I'll be back. But we are going to get the lace on the front. We're going to come back on a minute and let you see where the thread is the thickest on this lace. That's where I'm dabbing the Fabri-Tac, and I'm only going to go halfway up first. Now, I'm not sure about this edge. I just have to kind of play that by ear. But I am going to glue just the first half, and there's a little bit more area, like right here. I just need to add a little bit more Fabri-Tac. And it dries clear, so hopefully we're not going to have an issue. Okay, so it's just getting it laid on and getting it laid on right to start with so that we're not just smearing the satin up so bad. But I'm going to lay it down just barely where I want it. Pull it up in places. And it does stretch, so that does give you a little bit of a benefit to work with. And we're going to just barely smooth it out. I'm not doing a lot of pressing. I don't want the Fabri-Tac to come to the surface any more than it has to. And I think that's going to lay on good. And now I can take my scissors and trim down here when it's time. So at this point, we got the bottom half on. I've got it laid kind of where I want it. I'm going to roll back my top again. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I do. Yes, I do. I know how to solve that issue. I don't want anything that's got any color on it. Just a piece of white. I'm using my really high-grade paper so that I can slide it under here between it, like so. And we're going to do the same thing. Just this Fabri-Tac's getting real tacky. I accidentally left the lid off of it last night, so it's gotten extremely tacky on me. I may have to open a fresh bottle just for this intricate work here. I really think that's what I need to do and quit procrastinating about it. And that's where I'm at. I gotta open a fresh bottle. Give me just a minute, guys. Just a minute. Okay, guys, this small bottle. It's my newest bottles. So hopefully the Fabri-Tac is going to flow a little better. And it does, thank you, Lord. But when it gets tacky like that on this fabric, it just was not working for me. So now I might can make some headway here and not feel like I am destroying my lace. But we're getting it on. We're going to tack this down. Okay. And like I say, it does dry clear. So if it does bleed through a little, I'm not going to be totally frustrated. But this edge is going to be covered with some lace. So, okay, I think we've got the edge down. So let's pull it up again. That really tacky kind was. And I got to get it off my paper before my satin. Okay, let's stretch it into place. Like I said, we don't want it to quite go over the edge. Okay, I do have a little bit that I got right there. Don't like. Gonna wipe it off while it's still really wet. Okay, just lightly pat it. Lightly pat it. And smooth out just lightly. Again, it's really important when you're working with white like this. All the oil, so every so often I'm washing my hands in alcohol, drying them out, and getting the oils off my hands. And I just heard a piece of glue on my back. That's another thing. Got to be careful of that glue on this pad. Keep it pulled off. Just little quirks, guys, to run into when you're doing, okay? All right. That looks nice. All right, so now I'm going to take my scissors right along this edge. I'm going to pick it up. Would help if I held them right, wouldn't it? Okay, so right along this edge, let's just try to cut it as straight as we possibly can. Like I say, I'm going to roll pearls around this edge. So a little bit of jaggedness ain't going to hurt, but again, if you weren't going to do pearls, you would want it as straight as you can possibly do it. Okay, let's pull this off some. Put that off some. Okay, I think I've got it. Okay, now, I like that, but it's not tacked down. I really think on this edge, everything needs to be tacked down. It is hard to cut on that edge like that. But I got a little bit of place there I really want to tack down just a little bit. Come on, Fabri-Tac, be nice to me. Okay. I got too much hanging over here. I'm going to trim again, if I can. Let's turn it this way. Yeah, I might can do a little bit. There we go. Hey, you know, you just, sometimes just twisting and turning, you can get things done like you want it. Okay, so now we've got the lace on the front. That really needs to dry. Now we've got to cut the top lace off a little bit. And there's right much of that. Some of it curled under, so I got to pull it out. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to, goodness, angle it towards the inside of the book. This is exactly the same way I fussy cut when I'm cutting out things. I just kind of angle my scissors, and it just always makes a smoother cut for me. Okay, and a while ago I had to twist it, so I'm going to do it this way too and see if that works better for me. Pull it up, cut it at an angle, and it did. Okay, get rid of that. Okay, I think we've got lace on the front. We need to let that dry. Okay, we need to let that dry. Okay, I'm going to go now and cut another piece for the back. I started not to put anything on the back, and then I'm trying to think because that was where some glue got a while ago, and it didn't come off. So I have no choice now but to put lace on the back. I wasn't going to, but the glue got there and the fingernail polish remover hasn't taken it off, and I just now got some, so we're going to go cut one more piece. It wasn't that hard to put on, so, but most of all, let's cover our Fabri-Tac so we don't have that tacky problem, and I don't know what to do about this one that's gotten so tacky, but we'll figure it out. So I'll be back in just a few minutes for the other side. Piece of paper on my pad down here just in case it's my lace messed up. And I hope this cut right, because my cutting blade's getting sick. Doesn't want to cut. Alright, so I got a little extra. That's not going to hurt anything. We can stretch a little if we need to. Okay, so let's start at the bottom, roll it backwards. No, yeah. So they know, but yeah, let's do that. Grab another piece of this paper. I'm sorry, my grandson is here. If he walks in here hollering, I'll apologize. I will try to cut the video off so he finishes asking me whatever it is he's going to ask. And hey, I feel sure he will do it. Okay. All right, so I'm going to lay this down here, about middle way. I'll flip my lace up on that. I'm going to open my Fabri-Tac. And again, I'm going to take the thickest places that the thread is in the lace. And that's what I'm going to glue. That's what I'm gluing, the thickest parts of this lace. Like inside that flower, it's got some thick weave there. Now this part of the book, it's not likely I'm going to cover up much. So I really want this down good. And I really don't want any stains. So I want to be extremely more cautious. So just bear with me. If you're watching the video and you're bored to death, I'm sorry. I'm not going to cut it off while I'm doing this. I just want to make sure that I'm interrupted and my train of thought doesn't get interrupted. Because this is the final stages of this book. I do not want to mess up. I mean, if I do, of course, I know that I have a crafty mind and I'll figure out something else to cover any mistakes I make. But we just don't want them. We're on a looming deadline for this wedding and I need to get this done so that I can get this behind me and start on other things that I need to be doing, like going to get my husband a suit. I don't even have him a suit for the wedding yet. I got my outfit, but we didn't get his yet, so. We're not dress-up people ourselves. We don't even dress up to go to church. We're very casual. We don't spend a lot of money on clothing. Never have. Okay, I found some kind of little black spot here on my lace. I gotta try to pull it off before it glues down. Give me my glasses, guys. I gotta get this off. It's gonna worry me if I don't. Don't know what it is. Excuse my head being in the film a minute. Okay, it's not too bad. I don't know what it is, and I'm not gonna sit here and pick at it and then destroy my work. Okay. Okay, just let it go. All right, again, we're going to put our sheet here. Pull it back as far as the glue is, and which is right there. And again, I'm going to glue these parts. If my head gets in the way, I'm sorry, I'm not looking at the video right this minute. I am really concentrating on this edge here. Tack it down. I'm sorry to get real quiet. When I'm thinking, I don't do a lot of talking. But I hope y'all enjoyed this process with me. I mean, this is my first wedding album. Now, I've done a couple of actual digital journals using this particular type of book. But I never used it using the strips, the lips that we left over after ripping the pages out. I just glued onto the pages. So this is totally new to me too. So you guys have learned right along with me. And a lot of times, or from now on, in a lot of my videos, you'll find that I'm just going to start videoing. I'm not going to pre-plan. I'm going to get in here, and this is what I do in my shop when I just get ideas and I come along with them and I just start doing them. So I'm just going to do the same thing with the videos. I will just let you guys learn along with me. We'll make the mistakes together, and we'll just learn how to alter the mistakes. If we make a mistake, we'll learn how to fix them. I'm not going to fret if it goes a little bit over the edge there because, like I said, this is the back. I'm going to tap it down a little bit. I really wish I had a hot glue gun, and I would just glue it. I've seen a little something here I'm not liking, but I will fix that when I put my edge on here. I have to put some pearls right there because I got glue. I got glue on the outside of this when I stripped it down. Probably did on the other side too. No, I didn't on the front, so we're good on the front. But this little back got just a little bit, so I'm probably going to put those stranded pearls right there where all that glue got on my ribbon. Well, it looks like it's going to come off, so we'll just pull it off. We'll pull what we can off while it's wet. And if there's anything left on the ribbon that needs to be covered, we will put a strand of pearls right there. It won't hurt a thing. All right, so we got the lace on the back. Now comes the little fun part where we get down here to this edge and trim off. I don't have a lot of trim off on this one. I think I cut it a little better when I actually cut the piece out. Of course, my head's in the way again, and I apologize. But I do find that I can only cut about halfway before I have to turn the book around. Okay? And I will need to go back and probably add a little bit of glue there to make sure it doesn't roll up. And we'll do the same thing again on this side. Just pull it up a little and cut it. I glued that all the way down, so I've got to pull it up a little. My scissors are starting to get a little glue on them. Okay, so same thing again. I do need to put just a little bit of glue under that little piece right there. You see where that's all loose right there? I think we're just going to come right along this edge and just a tiny bit and pat it. Nothing serious. And then you got a little bit of fray there. We're going to cut off. Okay. That edge looks rather nice to me. Guys, I hope you like it. This is the back. So that turned out well. Let's get the other side. Got to get it turned where I can work with it. Put my lid on my Fabri-Tac. I sure do not want to experience what I experienced with that last bottle, and that was a big bottle. I'm real upset over my Fabri-Tac, but that's not cheap glue. But the big thing, it is replaceable. So we'll try not to let it stress us. I'm having to learn as I'm getting older to quit letting so many small things stress me. I've always been high-strung, I guess is the word. That's what my mother's always said. I was very high-strung. And I've always let things worry me that shouldn't. Okay, I think that looks good too. Just a little place right there. I don't like. Pull it up and cut it. Cut it. All right, we're going to just take a little bit of the glue. I see I got a little place there I'm not liking, so I'm going to pull it up and snip it off. If my scissors will get up under it. Go up underneath here with the Fabri-Tac again. And glue just a couple of spots that just went down. This corner needs to go down, so we're going to glue right there. That's a little bit too loose for me. Am I liking? Okay. From back done, guys. This is a lovely, lovely journal so far. Of course, that's my opinion, but to me, it's a lovely, lovely journal. See, it's a good thing I put that paper there, right? Okay, now, here comes the next part. We need to do the inside of that book. Oh, I see a little, let's do a little bit of Fabri-Tac right there. I don't like it curling up. Dab, pat. Hey, baby. I'm recording. Be quiet. Okay, hold on a minute. I'll carry you over there. All right, so that's it for now. I'm going to go and decide what we're going to do on the inside cover, and I'll be right back. I went and printed on heavy cardstock a piece of the actual pink lace that's in the book. As you can see, I stitched it all the way around. I'm measuring now. I've got just a tacky glue on it right this minute. I'm sorry, my grandson came in here. I am now putting stick glue on, a lot of it. I kind of smooth the yucky places out. And now I'm just coming in with just a little more of the Berry Arts glue. This is paper on paper on those places here. I'm just coming in and I'm really going to put it heavy on this edge. This is where we want it. Got to be careful, not get it on the other side. Put it down. I'm going to flip it over, make sure we didn't curl up here. We didn't. Okay. I hope that's the right way. Up, flower roses. Okay, I'm going to have to make sure my hearts are going up. Okay, and we're twisted a little bit right here. So I'm going to pull it right there. Okay, I'm going to press down and I'm hoping that everything is in its proper place right now. Because I really don't want to have to do anything else to this front cover. I think that's really looking nice. Pressing it down, pressing it down. I've got to give it time to dry. And I think when you open the book, that looks very nice. Finished off, it looks good to me. All right, guys, I think that's got that part. Unfortunately, I got glue right here on the front. I'm a little concerned about that. I'm afraid to erase it because I'm afraid the eraser will strip my paper. I don't want to put too much stain there, but that does take some of that shine off of the glue. All right, that's not too bad. We'll just deal with that. This looks nice. I thought I said I got fingernail polish, but I didn't. So I think, guys, we've got the front part done, other than the spine and the actual front decorations. Let's get this back complete. I've got to finish that stitching that piece, but that's where we are. Hopefully everything's covered. Yep. All right, glue stick. The majority of the glue going on will be glue stick, like this. I hope in the long term this holds really well, but we are going to add other glue just in case. We're not going to totally remount this. And then we're going to come in with the Berry Arts and just kind of smear it all over. Just down this edge. It's the main place. Down the edge. You want edges clean and down. Nice clean edges. My grandson's coming in, so just please overlook him. He will not mind Grandmama about not coming in here while I'm recording. So we just have to deal with him. He is an intricate part of Nana K Design, so I'm sorry. Okay, he's a little upset. He wants a mustache, and I don't have nothing to make him a mustache out of right this minute. He's all into this Halloween, and I am not keen on that, but his parents, I guess that's the final, they have the final say over things like that. I don't teach mine to celebrate Halloween. Too much other stuff they could do. But now we're about to get the back on. Everything's going in place. And other than our fancy decorations that we're going to do on the front, we are about done. And then when all this is said and done, we're going to make sure, and you see where the paper is touching the satin, it's just not gluing with the Berry Arts glue. So I got to come in with that sticky Fabri-Tac and try to put it down. That looks like it's going to hold it. I can't take a chance. I'm going to just put that down for now. And now the back is down. I will probably come in with a piece of this on this back to match the front. Well, while we're doing it, let's just get it done. Get this fuzzies out of the way. And let's go down with the tape. Also right there in the seam. Okay. That goes in the seam as well. Okay. I may have to stir that up a little, but it worked out well. Yeah, I caught myself there because I was about to cut the pink ribbon off from the inside. Be careful, be careful. Look twice, cut once. Okay, guys, that is the basics done. We got one other part to do on the front, and that's do this piece here, is our binding. And that's just going to be really simple. I think it's going to wrap just perfectly around both sides. So we're going to just cut this piece off at this hoop. One of these loops. Well, they're not even looped the same on both sides, so I don't guess it's mattering a whole lot anyway. I don't like that, but okay. Okay, we're going to go start on this seam right here. And I'm just going to go right down with this glue on the binding first. Hopefully I can lay it on without moving the book. Okay. It kind of looks like it's even that way. Make sure it looks kind of even on both sides. It looks like it's straight there and straight there. I'm going to lay that down. I'm going to just kind of pat it. I don't want it to get on the top a whole lot. Okay. This is not glued down yet. It's just the binding. The binding is glued down right this minute. Let that dry a few minutes because I put right much glue on that. Okay. We'll trim all this up in a few minutes just like we did before. Okay, I'm going to gently lay it over on the front and flip this back and do the same thing, just kind of dot along this edge. Not putting a lot on, but enough to hold it down, so, because when it glues, it will adhere. I'm not worried about that. Just a few spots, just enough to get it to hold on. That's all we're after. Okay, so now we're going to flip it back over, lay it down, and smooth it out. Okay, so that's on. It's really pretty. You almost can't even tell that you got two different pieces of lace on there. That turned out beautiful. All right, now let's get the front done. And the exterior. The interior is so done. It's all done now. And the only thing left is to decide how we want to arrange the front. And I am going to cut the video off. I will have one last piece of video attached to the end here of this particular video. And at the end, we will make a decision of, because I want to talk to the bride and see if she's going to want a photo on the front or anything like that. If she does, I got to leave. I have to cut out a nice oval to go, and I'll have to make it several dimensions thick. I like to do 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional, whatever. Okay, let's lay that down, flip it back over. Lay that down. Okay, guys, let's cut that, let it dry, and then we'll come back and trim that off. I'm going to sign off for right now. I will come back when I am ready to do the front, the flowers and all, the decor, the fun stuff, and I'll attach it right to this video. So it's not, you're going to get to see it all in one video, but I do have to have a little bit of time to prep some of the stuff and decide what we want. I'll be right back. Okay, we're on the last step, guys. It comes to decorating. That's what we've all been waiting for. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is start looking at what I have, and I'm going to start laying pieces on here, trying to decide how I want the book to look. I'm not going to glue anything down right now. We're just experimenting with what we've got to see just what we can come up with. Okay, that's all I'm going to be doing. So I probably won't be doing a lot of talking. I'm just going to be doing a little bit of working here, just laying things down, just for my own benefit to see how it's going to look. And this is a process that I do with all my books. Before I decorate, I just kind of lay things out where I want them, and I finalize. I just talked to the bride. She does not want a photograph or anything on the front of her book. She just simply wants the front of the book decorated to match the decor in her wedding. So she's got daisies, lace, tulle, satin, pearls. Her dress is satin, white satin, so she just kind of wants her book to be like that. Okay, guys, to get one last look at the book. When we stopped, we had put a lot of flowers all over it, and I told you I wasn't sure I liked it, but we went on anyway. But now I'm finished. I decided these daisies here were just too big, which is all we had left from the actual flower arrangements we've done. I wasn't happy with them. This one, even though it was smaller, they just didn't look elegant enough to me once you put them on the book. So I went to my stash and I found these paper daisies. There's already got these beautiful pearly centers right here. And I said, that's what I want. I want it a little flatter. I don't want the top of the book to puff out so much. So what we done? Well, now you know that we put the satin behind here and the lace top. Next, I cut out a piece of board and measured it. Well, I had just a little bit of space showing from behind it. Put pink satin on the back of it. Then I done a lace overlay on that. So what you're looking at here is a little bit of the mauve pink peeping through this lace here. It's a piece of cardstock that's about, was heavy cardboard, and I'd say it's about an 1/8 inch thick. It's pretty, it stands up one pretty good. You got not much height in that. Then I cut out a 4x4 piece and turned it to shape it like a diamond, covered it with the same satin that the book's covered with, and glued all that down to the book, leaving these two corners kind of open. I glued it down here and here and didn't glue it here. I left those open so I could slide stuff under. Then I went and took the baby's breath bunches that we had left from the wedding, flowers that we did, and we purchased a little bit of pink baby's breath to go with it, and we started stuffing little bits underneath the edge here. I'm going to glue it down a little tighter when everything gets dry. But then I had these really cute little things I got from Hobby Lobby. They've got a little bit of pearl and tulle on them, and we used 3 on each corner, mingled in. So all the greenery and flowers, well, not all of it, one layer of it is underneath the piece of cardboard here, the pink piece. Then I came in and I layered a spray of like 3 tiny pieces of the white baby's breath underneath these flowers and started putting the flowers down. So that is how my front is made. As far as I am concerned, I'm not going to do anything else. The bride did not necessarily want her photo on the top, but that would have been a place that you could have put an oval picture if you'd have chosen to do so. Instead, I found this beautiful wood carved out heart, and I added the pearls around the side and the pearls here, and that's the finished book. We have now finished this journal, guys. This is all I plan to do to it. I'm going to flip through again one more time and just give you an idea. But that is the journal. Her first section was the guest journal, and it was pink and green and white. And then the next section of the book was the wedding party. And we just had enough places for the attendants to write things and have their photos put. We've got a spot for the wedding ceremony photos and whatever else the bride, Alexis, wishes to do. Then we've got the reception. Same thing, just blank pages to be filled in. Then her honeymoon section where her and Justin can take pictures of their honeymoon and put in whatever. We also changed the color of the stitching in this section back to green. So we've got green in the first section, then pink in the next 2, and then green again. And then we jump back to pink in the last section, which is their first year together. So that is her wedding album. It is tied off with a beautiful satin bow that I put right here. A really simple closure, nothing fancy. Lexus is real vintage, so I just chose not to put anything really big and bulky here, just a really simple satin bow that can be just tied right back off. and then it's just really pretty to me. I personally think it turned out gorgeous. She is my granddaughter, so of course I wanted it to be special, and I think it really turned out very nice, and I hope she likes it. She's seen parts of it, but not the final touch. But anyway, that is the final part of our cover being done. That's it. We've done the wedding guest book and album out of a blank I think it's an 8x10 journal. So there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this project, and I hope you'll think about going out and making your own. So this is Nana Kay signing off, and thanks for watching. Please subscribe and have a beautiful, beautiful day.